Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and this is my last sip of coffee for the day. We downed that. Now on to the blue drink. For those of you wondering what the blue drink is I drink 10 drops of methylene blue every day. Look it up. You might like what you see. Okay, I want to remind everybody, I always reference the description below my videos. Here's the description. You click on more, and you can go down here and you can see this is my private group. You have two ways to join. It's the same thing. I create more extra video content and they're ad free inside of the group. And I've got it on Patreon at daixrp.com. Then I have on YouTube. If you just want to subscribe to it through, or you just want to join through YouTube, click on that link. It'll take you right there. Easy to do. And of course, all my other stuff's down there too. Go to xrplasvegas.com to get your discount tickets and discount MGM Grand Rooms. That XRP Las Vegas, I think we're about to roll into the 1,000 mark, thousands. and so this thing's, you need to hurry up on that because the speakers are packing out. There's a lot of speakers that have been announced, and there's also, Brad Garlinghouse is going to be there, and you're going to have, I believe it's going to be minimum 2 to 4 times the size of last year, which was the record last year. And everybody in that room knows how many people were in that room. The lines were long. That means the lines to get airplane tickets are going to be long, because now you got Bitcoin Las Vegas too, and you've got and so hotels and plane tickets. You better hurry up. That's all I got to say. Okay, the market is blah right now, and so we're going to go on to this. This is one thing I brought up on my channel many times. Back during the dot-com boom, Warren Buffett used to get bashed all the time because he would talk about how he wasn't comfortable with the valuations of a lot of these dot-com companies. So, and I've always compared it to this. Last time, if they would put .com on the end, but they wouldn't have a business plan, and then they would go public, the valuation, they would have these ridiculous PE ratios in the value of the stocks once they went IPO. There were things that would go IPO at $10 and then in the day at $150, $200. Crazy stuff based on nothing but hype. And so this time, and I'm telling you, write it down because I have a crystal ball on this one. The same thing as the people that tagged .com on the end of their name and had no business plan, the ones that the 90% of the .com that failed or more, is going to be the digital assets with no utilities this time. With no utility this time, the value is in the protocol if the protocol has utility. That's what this time's about. This was a Warren Buffett quote to one of his shareholder meetings from back during that time. The internet is going to change the world. You hear the same people say things. You've heard Jamie Dimon talk about blockchain. Big on blockchain, but then when he gets to Bitcoin, he's like, well, the internet's going to change the world, no question about it. But it doesn't mean that every company with a .com in its name is worth $1 billion. This is history. If you've ever seen history repeating itself, this is it. Right here. That goes for any coins, meme coins that don't have utility, doesn't matter. Since 1970, if gold had only traded during COMEX hours, it would be at $2.30. But if it had only traded during Asian hours, it would be $4,500. Conclusion: COMEX is the suppressor to fair price action in gold. And guess what, folks? What did they do since Nixon took us off the gold standard? They came out with gold ETFs. Sound familiar? They came out with, they used these investment banks to help suppress the price all these years of gold. The writing's on the wall. It's very clear to see. Look at this. This is noteworthy against the backdrop of Elon Musk and them talking about potentially auditing the Fed and Fort Knox. In 2017, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin visited the U.S. bullion depository at Fort Knox to inspect the nation's gold reserves, the first Treasury Secretary to do so since 1948. How is that possible? The question everyone should ask is, why did he do this? The incoming Treasury Secretary recently said that he believes we're in a long-term bull market in gold and highlighted the accumulation by central banks. Okay, this is awesome right here. This is about as awesome as it gets. The new DOGE from Bank XRP. The new DOGE SEC account was established to examine previous cases handled by the SEC. Uh-oh. DOGE has now set up an official X accounts for each government agency. We're seeing our government being systemically reprogrammed to serve the public more effectively. And so I went to and then DOGE SEC put this out. DOGE is seeking help from the public. Please DM this account with insights on finding and fixing waste, fraud, and abuse relating to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Okay, folks, if you have ever thought about DMing someone, you need to DM everything. We're going to drop it underneath there. DM them over and over about ETHgate. DM them the trailer to Rigged from the Start, the XRP Unleashed documentary. DM them all of the evidence that we have accumulated on ETHgate over these years. Let's let them have it. Ashley Prosper is bringing to their attention this. Perhaps you would also like to take a look at the 201 responsive documents the SEC withheld in relation to the communications with JP Morgan about Ripple and/or XRP. She filed a Freedom of Information Act request. She said it got all the way to the point where she was going to have to sue the SEC, and that's where she stopped. And that's why they do it the way they do it. Also, does anybody remember this?
Warzone tweeting
This is a video I put out in December 17th, 2021.
His Warzone tweeting drew fire when out of the blue in August he tweeted, quote, "Am considering taking Tesla private at 420. Funding secured." The SEC disputed that claim and charged him with securities fraud. The case was settled with Musk agreeing that his communications relating to the company, including Twitter, would be overseen by his board. Have you had any of your tweets censored since the settlement?
No.
None. Does someone have to read them before they go out?
No.
So your tweets are not supervised?
The only tweets that would have to be, say, reviewed would be if a tweet had a probability of causing a movement in the stock.
And that's it?
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's, hello, First Amendment. It's freedom of speech is fundamental.
Look at you.
No, I want to be clear. I do not respect the SEC. I do not respect them.
But you're abiding by the settlement, aren't you?
Because I respect the justice system.
Jay, let me ask you about something that it winds up in my Twitter feed constantly. I've tried to look into it and done a little research on it. There's this argument about...
Actually, you did no research on it, and you covered it not at all.
Action that the SEC brought on your last day as the chair of the SEC. This was the one to go after Ripple Labs executives, the CEO, the general counsel, and others, and kind of come after them for some sales that they had planned and whether they were upfront. There has been all kinds of speculation because Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO, the general counsel, have been very public in their pushing back and fighting the SEC on this. And they've done some mudslinging and said that you and others at the SEC were compromised in this decision, that you had input that was coming in from people who are maybe Ethereum fans or others along the way. I get this question constantly. I just want to put it to you.
Yeah, but you asked, this is all you ever did about this, is you asked him this one question and you never did anything else.
What happened and what do you say to those accusations?
Well, Becky, I'm not going to comment on any pending investigation or action in front of the SEC. I think you know that.
Okay, well, it's about over, Jay, so maybe you'll get to comment then. Just a little reminder, did the SEC sue Elon Musk under Jay Clayton? Yes, the SEC sued Elon Musk during Jay Clayton's tenure as SEC chair. Specifically, the SEC filed a lawsuit against Musk in September 2017, alleging securities fraud related to his tweets about taking Tesla private. All right? Another little reminder, Elon, remember that time Jay Clayton did this to you?
And I was told by the banks that if I did not agree to settle with the SEC, that the banks would cease providing working capital and Tesla would go bankrupt immediately. So that's like having a gun to your child's head. So I was forced to concede to the SEC unlawfully, those bastards, and now it makes it look like I lied when I did not in fact lie. I was forced to admit that I lied to save Tesla's life, and that's the only reason. And I was told by the banks that
is who Jay Clayton is. All right. This is hilarious. This guy says, Luna, Do Kwon scammed you. FTX SBF scammed you. Celebrities scammed you. Trump scammed you. Melania scammed you. Libra scammed you. Pump Fund scammed you. The only one who didn't scam you was Vitalik Buterin, and it's time for ETH to melt faces. And I said, I'll just leave this here.
I presume that your net worth crashed a great deal. It got run up and then came back down.
It did, yeah.
And were you happy in any way about that?
Relieved.
Relieved.
Yeah. So when right at the top of the big bubble, like in December 2017, when Bitcoin was hitting 20,000, ETH was hitting 1,400. I made this tweet, and a series of tweets that kind of became somewhat famous within the space, where I basically said the cryptocurrency space has reached $500 billion. Does it deserve it? Like, do the things that it's actually accomplished, like hold a candle to the promises that the market is ascribing to it? And I mean, the subtext of my answer is not yet, and I was proven very right fairly quickly. But
you didn't short it, did you?
So I did get the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 ETH, like basically at the top, and that's doubled our runway now. So, and it was one good decision that had a lot of impact, but it did not short.
How many times has Ryan Selkis pointed at Brad Garlinghouse and said, you dump on retail, that's all you do? You've never heard Ryan Selkis one time mention what the Ethereum Foundation and Consensus have dumped and what they own and the consolidation of ownership of Ethereum that's been hidden all these years. Never once. Wonder why that is. Here's Dom from Easy A. I never understand maxis or maximalism. Does this group want us to believe that only one single player will own the entire blockchain space? Is there any global industry where there's only one player? I studied hundreds of companies while I was an undergrad at Wharton and working at Goldman Sachs and Blackstone, and didn't come across a single global monopoly. If global monopolies don't exist today, why would it be different in crypto? Bingo. Bitcoin maxis are the enemy of crypto. Saylor is on video gleefully telling an audience all crypto assets except Bitcoin will be called securities and only Bitcoin will have an ETF. Then Donald Trump happened. Now the same people are trying to talk the White House into a Bitcoin only strategic reserve. I'm fine with Bitcoin being in a strategic reserve, but I want a level playing field where there's a basket of digital assets in a stockpile, not just Bitcoin. All right, I'll go over this in the group because sometimes everything comes full circle. The other thing I'm going to talk to you about in DAIXRP.com, I'm going to show you one of the most important videos that I've ever shown my audience. Okay, it's been viewed probably more times than just about any video I've ever done, and it's about something that I was told a long time ago about XRP. And I'll tell you again, if you haven't ever heard it, I'm the digital asset investor, and that's at DAIXRP.com. Go in the description. You can join either at DAIXRP.com or you can join through YouTube, through my YouTube channel. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.